Hello! Welcome to another video. So, Warframe Limbo. Let's discuss his rework and his problems, shall we? First of all, we need to understand what I don't like about Limbo, which, honestly, is a couple things. First problem, I don't like how the rift works. Well, I say works. I don't like how the rift works and looks. This is extremely ugly and, honestly, is slightly vulgar. You can also see the flashing, which doesn't really help. It would be nice if this got changed so that it looks visually a bit more appealing and it doesn't look so I'm gonna say harsh, especially on the eyes. This is the biggest problem. I'd also like to see the music somewhat toned down, as well as making it so stuff that's in the rift doesn't look like it's glowing and is on fire, as you can see from Helios. First thing out of the way. The next thing as well is going to be the fact that how the interaction between certain items in the rift and certain items outside the rift. The rift rules, as they are commonly referred to, need to be changed. For example, I can't pick up any items at all. This actually is a massive problem because anything that's in the rift is technically on a different plane to you, and that means you can't pick up stuff, which is just not very good. Honestly, it needs to be adjusted. Like, the rules need to be adjusted. The next problem as well, for anyone who's curious, and this is before we even start to talk about the kit, is his cast times are horrendously long. Take a look at this. Yeah, in most modes you're gonna die, especially anything above level 30, you're gonna die. We then have his third ability, which also has a very long cast time. This also has a very long cast time, and even Banish has a very long cast time. And, well, honestly, it just hinders Limbo. Limbo is not tanky enough to get away with being outside the rift for very long. So anything that has very long cast times is a massive problem for him. So the color of rift is awful. It needs to be adjusted so it's a bit less vulgar and obtrusive, I think is the best way of putting it. The rules around which objects you can interact with when it comes to Rift also need to be changed. You can interact with teammates to revive them, but you can't hack consoles, you can't pick up items, you can't carry loot as well. So as Limbo, sometimes if you don't have vacuum, you will basically just miss loot. And if you cast Cataclysm, your teammates can't pick up anything that's inside the Cataclysm, which makes you not very useful for defense missions, because you're basically stopping people from picking up loot. And Warframe is basically a game about loot. So, yeah. So those are the problems that you are looking at the moment, combined with the very long cast time. So, as you can see, Limbo has a lot of problems to begin with. And then we go into his abilities and it just gets worse from here. Honestly, it just does. So, first of all, we will actually take a look at what a normal Limbo will do. Normally what Limbo will do is he'll be in the rift. Oh look, I want to kill this guy. Banish you, buff myself, and then it will kill him. This is pretty much what Limbo will do. He will basically pick a target and then kill it. And that's pretty much all he will do. Most of the time he will not be using Cataclysm, especially on high levels, because this will just get him killed. Like, there's no way around it, it's just gonna get him killed. So what Limbo will do is basically pick and choose targets and just go for them. Like, it's that simple. This can be incredibly annoying, especially for teammates that are trying to kill the target that you've banished and you just can't kill them because they can't do any damage, so yeah. The result is Limbo pretty much has to be in the rift at all times. In fact, let's actually show you what happens when Limbo is not in the rift and what happens to that. So, this is Limbo against high level bombards. So, let's say 5 bombards. And then we will put him up to quite high. This is what will happen against Limbo. Yeah, let's go 80. This is Limbo versus 80 bombards with an Akenbrunt. Now I have actually modded this so I actually get a damage bonus, but let's just see how long I will survive when I'm outside the rift. Oh dear. Oh look, I just got one-shotted. Yeah, like there's literally nothing you can do. So as a result, as Limbo, you pretty much have to spend most of your time in the rift. Oh look, they can't kill me. And this is pretty much what Limbo has to do, and then Limbo basically picks a single target and then kills it. Which honestly is not fine. You can see an example, I go out of the rift to pick up the energy orbs and I'm dead. So what DE needs to do is he needs to try and solve the problem between Limbo being in the rift extremely strong and being able to focus on a single target, and then outside the rift Limbo being like soft cheese. Because that's pretty much what Limbo is. Outside the rift, he is basically soft cheese. In fact, let's show you Limbo taking on level 80 bombards with just one thing. You can see here, one bombard. No, I just knocked him off the edge. And I knocked myself off the edge. And I killed myself. But you can see that one bombard I can easily deal with. It just takes me a while. And that is pretty much his problem. He doesn't have the necessary damage to deal with large groups. He doesn't have the ability to deal with large groups either. He can basically deal with a single target and kill it instantly. Or kill it very, very slowly. But you can see here I'm doing damage to it. I'm very slowly whittling him down. And this is pretty much what Limbo will do. But I still have 4 bombards to deal with. And then I just get one-shotted because I banished that and it fired a rocket towards me. I think what I'm trying to say here is Limbo's niche is very, very small. Limbo currently, at the moment of how he works, is absolutely very good at doing spy missions. He is probably one of the top 3 frames in the game to do spy missions with. He can also be very useful, especially in defense sorties, because he can banish something and it is basically unkillable. And that's pretty much all his niche, like in a nutshell. Based on what we've seen for the rework so far, they've changed the passive, which makes it a lot more useful. You basically turn it into rift walk, so you can basically jump and then it allows you to rift walk into the rift, which honestly is not too bad as a concept. The problem is though, as Limbo, most of the time I'm going to be jumping about the place to try and get to stuff. And if I'm going in and out of the rift, that's going to make it so that people can kill me easier. So that's my concern there. The next one that they did was they basically made it so banish is now an AoE, which I can get behind, but as you saw there, if I banish 5 bombards, I still have to deal with the 5 bombards and they can probably one-shot me. Yeah. So what do you decide to do for the third ability? Actually, I've missed ability. What they decided to do for the second ability is they've taken out Rift Walk and basically put it onto the passive. And they basically made it so you can stop time for anything that's in the rift. So that means potentially I can stop 5 bombards, fire my weapons, melee them down, activate time again, and then they will take a bunch of burst damage. Which means I can deal with a small group that are very important, which honestly I'm fine with. I think that's good. The problem there though is the fact that I'm still going to be wearing on level 80 bombards and I don't have anything to enhance my damage, which is where a third ability then comes in, because I believe this is a damage enhancement for anything that's inside the rift. And if you kill stuff inside the rift, it basically can spread the damage out to anything outside the rift, which honestly doesn't sound too bad. And then we have Cataclysm, which basically hasn't really changed much. Honestly, it hasn't really changed much. It's maybe, I think, got a stun, and that's it. But have they solved the problem of how Rift looks and the cast times? No. They haven't. They basically overlooked all the problems that Limbo has and basically gave him very small quality of life changes and maybe increased his damage and given him a slightly better CC against the group. but they haven't actually solved the problems with Limbo. They might have actually created more problems because you can now make mini cataclysms with your 3, and it may be slightly easier, and you may kill yourself to enter into the rift by jumping using a passive. But we have AoE banish. Yeah. I'm not particularly impressed with what I've seen so far, if I'm honest with you. And I am slightly concerned. I honestly would like to... I'd honestly like to see this go back to the drawing board. My perfect world of Limbo would be making it so that Limbo in the real plane, in the normal plane, has different abilities to being in the rift. And then when you go into the rift, you get a benefit, like you become tougher, especially if you fight stuff inside the rift. Make it so that he is more survivable. Make it so he just isn't a one-trick pony, which currently at the moment he is. Right now, he basically is very reliant on the rift to stay alive, and that's it. He also has a bunch of problems while being in the rift. So, yeah. I'm not too sure, honestly, what to think about the rework. But they need to solve the casting times animations. They need to fix that. They need to fix the look, or just the look of how the Rift looks. And they need to look at the rules and what you can interact with. If they can fix those 3 things first, then you can start looking at his abilities, in my opinion. And then you can do something interesting with them. I sort of like the stasis effect that they're going to go with, where you can sort of freeze stuff. But I'm not exactly convinced, if I'm honest with you, because... yeah, I don't know if freezing a group of enemies is going to make it be more useful, especially if you just banish stuff and then freeze it, and then your teammates can run past it. Maybe that's good. I don't know, but it seems like they're trying to position Limbo to be a supported damage frame, somewhat. But they haven't fixed these problems, so I'm not too sure. I honestly hope they do adjust it. Especially the rift rules, the cast times, and how the rift works. I think that would be the first things I would look at, honestly. But I'm not too sure. Anyway, that's some thoughts and feelings on Limbo and some ideas for his abilities. I think he can be a very interesting Warframe that can synergize well together, but right now his abilities don't synergize well together and they break up the gameplay a bit too much. And I honestly feel his suggested rework doesn't fix any of the issues, but I could be wrong. So, thank you for watching. I will see you again next time. Like, comment, subscribe, and do all of that fun stuff. And I honestly should disable the chat, but I don't know how to do it on PlayStation. Oh. Anyway. Goodbye for now, and I will see you later. I'm off to play some more Warframe, possibly with Limbo, before they ruin him. Haha, jokes. Okay, I will say one thing before I do go. That's just the longest intro known to man. I don't think the changes are going to ruin Limbo, but I don't think they're going to fix Limbo. There you go. Anyway, hope you watch this or something, and yeah, so bye.